always has. But I shall not get too comfortable here. We must be free if we are to rule. And to be free, we must destroy this cult. And Ketheric's co-conspirators along with it. I know one of them, all too well. Baal's bloodletter, Orin. To think, I thought her to be speaking for the Absolute. I worshipped that woman. You make it sound so simple. She is the chosen of Baal, Lord of Murder, and one of the cult's found. Indeed, she is the one who indoctrinated me with the Absolute's lies. Only that he serves Bane, which could make him a petty lordling or a despot capable of bending the world to his will. That he has enslaved illithids to fulfill his ambitions strongly suggests he is the latter. The Harper may know more. Her precious Baldur's Gate was the soil that nourished his growth. When I first visited Moonrise, I stood before the Absolute in awe. It was more of an idea than an entity. Pure love, total power. Orin was by my side. She told me that God had chosen me to be a true soul, blessed and adored. Now I know that those memories are lies. There was no God. Orin held me down in a cocoon of flesh, while a mind flayer forced a parasite into my brain. And she laughed at my fear. I will find her. I will murder her. And I will smile. It is as if you read my mind. Perhaps you did. In killing Ketheric, we fractured the cult's leadership. When we break the other chosen and claim their netherstones, we can take control. I expected you would be, but know this. What I propose is nigh on impossible, but if anyone can succeed, it is us. We have the prism, and we have the courage to slay gods. We may fail, but we must try. The power of the enslaved Elder Brain could reshape the world. We could reshape the world. And then we will need no gods. We will be their equal. We will be absolute. We have a purpose and a bond. By my oath, I will fight with you while that purpose holds. There is yet one thing about you that troubles me, though. Something I need you to explain. Why come to Moonrise, where the cult's power is strongest? Why not walk away? Good. That is as it should be. Now, I am ready to leave this damned place whenever you give the word. The city awaits.
Is it true you were a member of the Absolute cult, Drow?
Do you mean to judge me if I were? Darthy.
No. I mean to learn from you.
Like you're blind. It's you dead. How'd you survive? Found you. I had to look after you.
I I, for one, will miss the shadow curse. For all the pain it caused us, it did at least obscure the incessant sun. I take no pleasure in his passing. Whatever faults he may have had, Ketherick was a great leader. Of course. He ruled Moonrise for centuries. That in itself deserves respect. I believe he was an honorable man, but the gods used him as their plaything. First Shah and her sister, then the three behind the Absolute. I sympathize. A meaningless question. If he had killed us and conquered the Sword Coast, I would envy him. As it is, he lost, and I pity him. But I will never forgive him for handing me to Orin. For that, I hope Merkel hollows out his bones and lets them be dust. A true soul came to my city preaching a message of togetherness, accompanied by two novices. Menzoberranzan is not fertile ground for such messages. I killed them and hanged their bodies in my garden. I would have picked prettier corpses if my intentions had been aesthetic. This was a warning against heresy. I was not content with the warning, though. I intended to wage war on their insolent god and the rest of its followers. Even as the flesh sagged and sloughed away from their eyeless skulls, their audacity infuriated me. I had to know where they came from. And whoever sent them was counting on my curiosity overcoming my caution. Indeed. A man you know all too well. General Ketherick Thorm. The dead cough up their secrets just as well as the living. All it took was a simple act of necromancy, and the corpses told me where I needed to strike. Moonrise Towers. No. I was prepared for combat, but I intended to strike subtly. As it turned out, to my shame, I was defeated without even drawing my weapon. I came to Moonrise with a retinue of warriors and assassins, the best House Bainray had to offer. I expected a battle, but found a fully laden feast table and a welcome befitting a house matron. Ketherick expected us, expected me, and I fell for his flattery. I recognize my flaws. Pride is certainly among them. Ketherick proposed an alliance between Moonrise and Menzoberranzan. I admit I was captivated by him. He invited me to the head of his table as his guest of honor. I was wary, of course. If I had been in his position, the food would have been poisoned. It was not the food I should have been wary of. It was the pale woman at the foot of the table. Orin the Red. We had barely begun to eat when she spoke for the first time. I only caught one word, my name. Then, quick as lightning, she climbed onto the table, a dagger in each hand, and skipped toward me, slicing the throats out of my men as she passed them. If it had been an option, I would have. Ketherick held me still, his hand on my shoulder, the grip tight enough to crack the bone. When Orin stood before me, She touched the dagger to my eye, drawing out a tear of blood. "I want this one," she said. Ketherick nodded his permission, and I was taken below. You've seen the horrors of the colony. Orin kept me there for days. She forced me to watch as my men were processed. Some for food, others as thralls. And then she placed the tadpole in my eye herself. That is certain. You know the rest as well as I do. There were massacres before the Grove. Religious communities mostly. Those who refused to convert. Then there was you, and now there is freedom. Soon there will be vengeance. These harpers of yours, would they die?
It's not for me. They would die for peace.
Like your mind. It's your
It's better to kill.
Thank you. I had to look after you.
You wish to consult me?
A heart-to-heart.
As you approach Mintharoi, you feel her mind reaching out to yours, tentative and curious. Then it retreats, soft as a whisper.
Sorry. Old habits. A feeling. When we first met, before moonrise, I intruded on your thoughts without hesitation and took what I needed from your memories. I would not do that again, unless I had reason to think you were hiding something from me. And I do not. I did not think we would ever share anything more than an uneasy alliance, born of our mutual enmity for the Absolute. I was wrong. A deeper bond has grown between us. I trust you. But I would like to touch your thoughts again, now that my mind is my own. May I? Of course. I do not hide anything from you. Until my time in the cult of the Absolute, I had spent little time on the surface, except to raid and pillage. I did not expect to find any outside the Underdark who saw the world as I do, and wanted from the world what I want. I did not expect you. I have been told that I am special since my mother first held me in her arms. The burden of expectation. Before the Absolute, I lived a life of certainties. I knew that I was destined for greatness because I was born to it. I also knew that my inherited privilege came with a cost. That the bonds of fellowship and family could be broken by envy and ambition. I could not enjoy the taste of food for fear of poisoning, and I could not enjoy the company of lovers and friends because I feared they hid knives behind their smiles. In spite of the danger, I was happy. I knew myself, and I understood the world around me. Now, nothing is certain. Without Lolth, without the Absolute, without my home, I do not know myself. But you do, I think. Show me myself through your eyes. Let me see what I am to you.
She joins her thoughts with yours, and you are as one. You share in her strength of mind and formidable will. but also the doubts that eat at her conviction. Those doubts cluster in swarms, and the thickest is around her sense of self. She pushes past, revealing the image of her you hold in your mind. What does she see? The cold shell of Minthara's mind melts away, and you are drawn into the heart of her. Warm, passionate, and dangerous.
I have never lacked confidence, but this conflict seems so much bigger than the two of us. It frightens me. I do not know if we will survive it, but whatever life remains to us, I would gladly spend it fighting at your side and lying with you at night.
Her mind touches yours, feather light and hesitant. A stark contrast to the confidence with which her thoughts intruded on yours in the past.
Tonight, there will be no voices, no orders, no gods. I belong only to you. You wish to consult me?